The vendors downstairs came in a few minutes after me. Oh, and Bartlett's here. I don't think you've met him yet. Who's Bartlett? John Bartlett. Bartlett. Big presence at the end of the bar. He's in the biz. Connected. You might want to meet him. Is that guy still bothering you? You mean my ex, Shane? Well, yeah. No, he hasn't been in since that last time. No calls or pages or handwritten notes either. Weird. He was so persistent. I guess he finally got the message. Maybe he'll find someone at the Universal Brotherhood of his and settle down. Alright. Full of life and a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Hey lady, what's shaking? Have you looked around? There's a whole lot of shaking going on. I've got something that might rock your world, if you got time. Time is money, yeah. You ever hear of the Nephilim Network? Of course you have. All in the know lady like you have to have heard of the premier merc team out there. If you say so. We're a tight unit. We cost a bit more than the common rabble, but we're worth it. Von Graz? I'm very busy. You show me something worth my time or you walk away. Data from the NTSB. Renraku would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I've got 800 Nuyen for something like that. I know you'll double dip on this one. Make it 1,000. As long as you keep bringing in stuff like that, sure. Alright, excellent. Jessica Watts. Oh, this is Sam's sister. I bet. At a glance, you can tell that Sam's sister Jessica is from a different world. The opposite of Sam in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes are sharp, and her style exudes authority. Miss Watts? Jessica Watts? She eyes you up and down warily. She does a good job of hiding it, but it is clear she is well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? My friends called me Yvonne, and I counted Sam among them. That's funny. I didn't think Sam had any friends. Friendship is defined a little differently in the shadows. I suppose it would have to be. So you're the one I was told about on the phone. A woman who called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead, and that I should come to this place and speak to someone about an investigation. That's right, and I'm hoping you can help me get to the bottom of this. I don't know what use I'll be. I just want to ask a few questions. Alright, but... And she furrows her brow regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? I'm getting that a lot lately, but no. By the look on her face, she is clearly struggling with this. I'll be honest. I would just as soon put this all behind me, and the fastest way to do that is through proper channels. Surely there is an official police investigation going on. Why not let the professionals handle this? I am a professional. But you must have better things to do than waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. We low-lifes have to stick together. Besides, I'm not doing it for free. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? Find it hard to believe that anyone who really knew Sam would pay up the money. Who is it? Actually, that's on a need-to-know basis. This is ridiculous. He was my brother, and you seem real shaken up about his death. Fine, I'll pay you 100 just to tell me. Done. Sam Watts. I don't understand. He set it all up before his death as a contingency. Am I to believe that my drunken sot of a brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? Her boardroom mask drops momentarily, and in a sigh she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seattle to get away from Sam and his bullshit. Now I'm back. He's dead, and I still have to deal with him. Jessica composes herself, and in a breath, the mask is back in place. Listen to me, Yvonne. You seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam was Sam, you know? I've worked hard to put all my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on. I would love nothing more than to give you closure and quickly. I appreciate that, but I think I'd prefer to just let it be. No one else needs to get hurt. Uh, your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't walk away from this. I can be completely mercenary. Yeah, we're talking about the same man. My brother was worthless, Yvonne. Worthless. He used people. He. Never mind. I can see that you're not going to let this go, and I respect that you are honoring my brother's memory in your own way. But I hope you can understand how emotional this is for me. Holy cow. Jessica's demeanor instantly changes from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single meditative breath. Maybe you can do things in a way that the police can't. Maybe I can help. What do you need from me? Okay, that's confusing me that she switched that quick. Okay. When was the last time you saw or spoke to Sam? It's been ages. I can't even remember. Uh, there was a note on Sam's body. It sounded like an apology, and offered to meet up and bury the hatchet. It was signed Jessica. I wrote many such notes in the beginning, but I haven't made such an effort in a long time now. I don't know why he would have kept it. Where were you on the night of Sam's murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraiser all evening, a very crowded fundraiser. Did Sam have any enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. Don't know of any others. You would likely know better than me these days. Were you close? I think I've made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't seem to care whether his killer faces justice. Of course I want justice. Just can't let him drag me down again. Oh, that's kind of dirty pull. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly, as if it might sting her. But the guard drops the moment she looks at it. Where did you find this? Sam's bunk. I can't believe he kept this. It's one of the few possessions he had. What happened between the two of you? Things were different back then. We were different. We were a family. Then after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was just always a reassuring order to our lives, but after, everything got mixed up. You can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're gone. The remorse plays wet across her eyes, and it seems like she's not just talking about her father. Jessica then steels herself to tell the rest. Sam tried to be the man of the house. He truly did, but he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon he had spent every dime of our father's life insurance, every dime. After that was gone, and with Mom working 2-3 jobs, he spent all her money too. I couldn't stand the way he abused her trust, so finally I just had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it along with the past, and another looking to hold on to both. May I keep this? Please do. Thank you. Tell me about your mother and her death. She was a devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say she sacrificed her life for Sam and me. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her do it anymore, so I moved out. After I left, we drifted farther and farther apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. Where were you living before you moved back? Cal-free. What brought you down there? It was less of what brought me there than what made me leave here. Felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. And did you? Actually, yes. While I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life. A vision for what the world could become, and I came back here to help make it happen. I've taken enough of your time. Thank you, Miss Watts. Just as well, I needed to get back to the office. But before I go, you should know that I'm reinterring my mother's body tomorrow, and I'm arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral's tomorrow at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. Thank you. Goodbye, Yvonne. I hope you find what you're looking for. Stay safe. Interesting. Oh, Coyote. Coyote is wiping down the back bar. She doesn't stop when you approach and keeps her eyes on her work. Hey. Hey, you okay? Yep, fine. Listen, Yvonne, I don't want to talk about what happened with Gino, okay? What's done is done. Gino's dead, I'm alive. That's all there is to it. It's the Baron's right. Nothing more to do or say. I'm going to be looking for work. Your kind of work. So if something comes up, keep me in mind. Alright. Okay, I gotta do this now. The afternoon checklist isn't gonna finish itself. Mr. Clue, does he have anything new to say? What's the state of the troops? Combat ready, perhaps more so than usual. Tensions are up. Word got around that about that latest Ripper killing, and people aren't feeling safe. When people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. You notice how empty the streets are these days. That's because everyone's either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in numbers, chummer. Not that we need numbers here. I got it covered. All I ever needed was one. Later, bud. Alright. If you're talking to me, there's business to transact. Am I right? Of course you're right. It's your job to be right. Have a need I think you can feel. Of course you do. That's why you came back. Street talk is that you are tracking the Ripper. What can I do for you, Ripper Tracker? I need to put a crew together. You got scratch, or are you planning to pay me out of your earnings? How much is this going to cost me? Well, for your speed, hired help will run you about $1,200 a head. If you start taking on tougher jobs, well, the more experienced the runner, the higher the rates. I don't know if I got that much money. I'll pay a percentage of what I earn. Screw you, I don't speculate. I guess I'll pay them up front. Excellent. We agree on terms. I've got some runners on call if you got any special requests. I got some stuff to take care of first. I'm going to run down and just check some stuff out. Whoop. No, just talk to her. Granted, a repeat customer means a person courting death more often than any good doctor should condone. Don't suppose I can dissuade you from your course of action. If only life was so simple. Very well, let's talk about how I can help ensure you make it back alive once more. Did I already talk about this one? Dr. Castle pauses in her work, settling down her tablet and appearing to grow introspective. I suppose you might expect that I had a fall from grace. Certainly that is the case with many of my peers. If not that, you might think that I was compelled to do this because a friend or family member became a Shadowrunner and I hurried to their assistance one fateful night. But the reality is, I grew up knowing that this is what I would do with my life. My parents were both Shadowrunners, and very successful ones at that. So successful that they retired in a very large house and raised a litter of kids who grew up hearing the impossible tales of their parents' younger years. Of course, they were expressly forbidden to follow in their footsteps. We were all expected to attend university and take full advantage of the opportunities they had fought so hard to give us. So Mom and Dad were proud to see me pursuing a medical degree, and they had only minor reservations about my applying that expertise to the treatment of Shadowrunners. After all, they never would have survived long enough to meet and fall in love if not for the ministrations of several street dogs along the way. So I suppose you could say I was born into this life, after a fashion. Is there anything I can help you with? Anything else? Let me look at your cyberware. Let's see what I can get. So we got 6,300 now. I can't get a new data jack. +3 to hit would be helpful. Extra hit points is good, but I'm not exactly... I'm not going to spend 4K on a pair of cyber legs. $750 for an eye? Yeah, that'll work. Medical supplies. Equipment. We still got 2 med kits. I think that'll be okay for now. Let's see if he's got any new clothing. Alley Punk. Nope. Tell me about yourself, Buster. Where are you, military? After fashion, yes ma'am. Sergeant in the 31st California Militia. It's no longer a recognized unit, but there are those who would say we never were. But someone had to stand up to the tier, and it fell on us. And it fell to us. Tier Terragire? Yes ma'am. I was in Cal Free when the elves came marching down from the north in 36. After the UCAS pulled their support, we had little in the ways of organized defense. But what we did have was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Oakland. The locals in NoCal held out long enough for us to bring the heat, and I tell you, all the magic hoo-ha in the world ain't enough to stop a V11 hot rock from cracking your dome. We drove them elves all the way back to Rekka. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland too, but some ninny down south reached out to the Japanese for aid and got our own version of Normandy for the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Don't much like to talk about those later days. Let's talk guns instead. Alright. Still crappy. Well, you know, nah, I think I'll just keep that security 500. Yeah. Consumables. See, I don't think that these are single use. I'm not for sure. We definitely need suppression. Yeah, these are all level 1 programs. Degrade hostile target, explosion. Erodes integrity points of IC, does -50 IP with ongoing 25 for 2 rounds. Nice. Firewall. Killer. Powerful attack program directed at 1 target. Yeah, we'll need to pick up one of those. Slow. Sniffer. Yeah, we'll get degrade too. I like that. Alright. Now, if I remember right, why can't I move that to,